Let's talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse acquittal and what is next for this young guy and this teenager who now ponders life after this Kenosha acquittal. If you've been following social media over the past few days, you may have seen posts claiming that Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be suing a whole host of media companies for defamation, painting him as a, as a murderer, etc. And specifically, there was a tweet that was making its rounds, and then it was shared on Facebook that had 570,000 shares of this post on Facebook claiming that Kyle Rittenhouse was going to sue The View, had filed a $60 million lawsuit against The View's Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. And it said, "Let the games begin," a Facebook post. So it was shared 540,000 times. Well, you know what they say about lies, right? That lies can spread all around the world, what is it, twice or something like that, before truth has a chance to put on its pants. What's the story?
I have no idea what that.
Maybe I'm just making that up.
No, that's a phrase, yeah, something like that. You were very close to it.
Does it sound like I just made that up? Because if it does, I'm just going to keep saying like I came up with this. I'll be like, you know what Daddy always says? A lie can travel 2 times around the world before truth.
For every lie, there are 50 million retweets.
Before truth has a chance to put on its pants. I think it's like Mark Twain said something like that. Or Clayton Morris. I don't know. But anyway, Kyle Rittenhouse has filed a $60 million defamation lawsuit against The View. Well, that is not true. And according to, whoop, that's the wrong tweet. That's Bob Barker. According to the tweet, the Kyle Rittenhouse Defense Fund, as of now, the Rittenhouse team has not filed any legal actions against media organizations. But they say, well, maybe Joe Biden should be next. Maybe The View should be next. Maybe CNN should be next.
Joe Biden?
Yeah, there's questions as to whether or not Joe Biden could be sued as a result of this. Could Joe Biden actually be sued as a result of the comments that he made about, Kyle Rittenhouse for defamation?
Well, I think it would be really hard to win a defamation case.
Why is that?
Because it was such a public case, and most of the things that were said about him were said that, like, they're not things that you can empirically prove are false, right? So if you said about me that I am transgendered, right? I can prove that that's not true with just a medical exam, right? And so I could say, oh, that person said something that I can prove it's false. But how do you prove, like, what are the things that they said about him that you can prove are false? For instance, he's a thug. Well, you're allowed to call people a thug. I'm not saying he's a thug, but I'm talking about the things that was said. I just feel like, and it was a very public case, and they are media professionals. I think that this falls under freedom of speech, whatever it is they said. Now, I don't agree with the way they took on the framing of that case. I don't agree with the way I took it on even. Like, before some of those videos were released, I thought something completely different. But I don't think that anything that they said was specifically defamatory.
Brian Cody corrects. He says, Clayton, he gave me the proper quote from Mark Twain. "A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes."
Oh.
Mark Twain.
Love it.
I like putting on pants better.
Okay. Well.
That's going to be my quote. So that'll be my version of it.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you.
I'm fine with that.
So
nothing
thank you.
to add.
I'm glad you. But anyway, the question about Joe Biden, I mean, so if the president of the United States, or even then a non-president of the United States, running for president of the United States, former vice president, sends out a tweet basically linking Kyle Rittenhouse to white supremacists, is that actual malice as what? I mean,
okay, yes.
That's a good question, right?
Did he say if you call someone a white supremacist and they're not, right? I guess you could call someone a racist and that could influence opinions about him. But can't you call people, I mean, that's sort of the liberal shtick these days. We call everybody a racist, right? Like,
don't
with
say
impunity.
Right? Don't say
we as in the woke culture,
the woke left. Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I agree. So what is that NEPOC says then, is that a white supremacist? Is that just I don't know, but I think that it's just so hard to win a defamation case that, and the burden of proof is on you to prove that they said something with malice and that they said something that they knew to be untrue. Those burdens of proof are really high. I don't think that this kid is going to be getting involved in anything like that.
Does he want that?
I don't think he does.
Because
I don't know what he thinks, but
the amount of money that it would take to go after this, and yeah, it's very, very difficult in a free speech society to. I know we might think we're not in a free speech society anymore, given all the censorship that's going on. But when it comes to a court of law, like they'd have to prove intent, right? They would have to go to a level of proving Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, knew something and were doing it consciously, and right. I mean, they would have to go.
But then he, as the plaintiff, would have to prove that he is not any of the things that he takes issue with, right? So they may say, oh, maybe he took issue with him saying it was racially motivated and premeditated, and then he would have to prove that it's not. And so he opens himself up for all kinds of discovery, which would be painful on his point. And the kid's been through a lot of pain. I don't see someone like this. I don't know, unless you're a glutton for punishment. And I think the legal bills are probably not an issue. There are plenty of people who are willing to help him out there.
Well, he had stellar legal help because of the money that he was able to raise. So he was not wanting for legal help. He had the finest legal defense fund standing by. And right now, just to be clear, he has not filed any legal actions, even though I've seen YouTube videos and tweets and other things saying like he's filed huge lawsuits against The View and other media corporations. I can't find it, and they're saying that he hasn't. And as of now, according to the Rittenhouse team, there hasn't been any legal filings. Nobody, and he says, nobody's sitting around planning anything right now, that they have any plans for this. I mean, and I think that there's anger. There's a lot of anger from the left that he's now suddenly he's like somehow a right-wing star.
I feel that. I absolutely feel that. There's a kid who had no business going out with a gun and people got hurt and he walked away with nothing. I don't know if it was premeditated or racially motivated or anything, but I do feel upset that there were more than just him out there with illegal guns, and all of those people with illegal guns were fine. Yes, right. Of course I feel that.
And a judge throws out the gun portion of the law, of the case.
Yes.
When that was the most provable piece of it, and that he even admitted to on the stand. So there's a lot to not like about this situation, but the fact that he's now, President Trump invited him down to Mar-a-Lago. They took the pictures together. He was on the Tucker Carlson show doing an interview. He even came out and said he supports Black Lives Matter. So there's a lot of like, I don't know, reflection. There's a lot of hand-wringing about this whole thing.
Did you know that our justice system was actually built on defamation cases? They are the earliest cases in American history because if you impugned somebody, it used to be that you only did business with people in your surrounding town. And if I talked badly about you, then you had the right to sue me because then I couldn't do business with other people who believed that I was a scoundrel, right? And so that's not not anything, whatever these people said about him have only proven to boost his reputation.
Right.
As somebody who, now this is a guy who we would never read his book, but now millions of people would, right? He does not have a reputation problem. So again, I think that would also be hard to prove. I feel like these stories saying that, ooh, Whoopi's going to be punished. Like this is just, it's an inside baseball, media punishing media type story, but I don't feel like it would be a really like slam dunk for him and his team, and also not, awesome for his brand.
No, and you have a lot of conservative media coming out and saying, we think you have a case. Really? It's easy for you to say out there looking in.
Yes.
Like, oh, you think there's a case. Lawyers are always going to say that. You know why? Because they want the money. They want the high profile. They love for you to hire them.
But also it's part of American culture to just throw around that I'll sue you.
Yeah, I'll sue you. And then what? So they are excited about it because if it's in the press, if we can keep Kyle Rittenhouse's name in the press, right, we can keep doing interviews with him. It's good for the media. It's good for them. It's good for Fox. It's good for these other companies. It's good for CNN, quite honestly, to have his name in there and that he's suing The View and all this stuff, even though it's not true. To have his name out there certainly is going to drive numbers.
Yeah.
But you have conservatives that have come out and said he has a case. He has a case. A number of figures on that Tucker Carlson interview are like, he has a case. He definitely has a case about defamation.
Tucker Carlson is not a lawyer who specializes in defamation,
right.
You know,
he
unless you actually have somebody there who's saying you have a case based on these precedents. Again, I think it'd be a really hard case to win, and it would just be a PR move. But I mean, even any of this is getting press from us because we're like, oh, the media is like slapping at each other over what you think or have said about Kyle Rittenhouse. And
I'm just trying to correct the record here on this, you know, that no, he has not sued Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar.
But where did these rumors come from? Is somebody still wanting the clickbait about it?
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, somebody shares this on, you know, on Twitter and Facebook. Kyle Rittenhouse has filed a $60 million defamation lawsuit. No, he hasn't. Like, that's not true. He has not. So, anyway, we'll keep you updated on this. We'll see if he does. I think it's a very hard case for him to deal with, especially he wants to move on with his life, I think, at this point. After you spend that amount of time in the spotlight dealing with this, do you want to spend the rest, like another 4 years going through a defamation lawsuit?
I don't see that happening, and I don't see it as an easy win, is all I'm saying. I think the chat room erroneously thinks that I'm defending him or thinking that, like, oh, the poor kid's been through enough and that's how he feels. I don't know how he feels. I just think that would be a really uphill battle, and any good lawyer is going to tell him that. Right.
But most lawyers are going to want the money. So they're going to say, sure, we could go after that. And after you spend $1 million, you know, filing this lawsuit, well, we might probably, you know, they're not going to tell you that we're going to probably lose this thing. You're going to go up against ABC.
I think good lawyers will tell him that.
Hopefully.
I just feel like this is a way for the media to point out how we're polarized because, like, oh, Whoopi shouldn't have said those things.
Yeah.
Let's slap down, you know,